Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Proverbs 31 woman. Today, we're going to talk about wisdom in her mouth and grace on her tongue. I will say that opens up endless possibilities, but it also puts you in mind to what's really going on here, right? Proverbs chapter 31, verse 26 says that she openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. Can I just say that people will know you when you walk into the room for something? And some people hate to see some people coming, right? Other times they love to see you coming based upon sometimes what you say, right? That character that shows up. So this verse speaks volumes without raising its voice. It introduces us to the Proverbs 31 woman as a verbal architect, a woman who doesn't just talk, she builds with her words. Her wisdom is not reactionary, it's revelatory. And her kindness is not a weakness, it's intentional strength. So, in a world where everyone has an opinion, she has discernment. In a culture where sarcasm trends, she speaks grace. This is where you get the opportunity to set yourself apart. If you are always collaborating with the negative Nancy's, can I just say that that's going to speak volumes for you? I don't know about you, but what do you want people to say about you based upon the way that you show up, the things that you are saying, and how it is that you have the ability to either stand out or stand up, right? The first part of this verse talks about she opened her mouth with wisdom. And here you see that the implication is not that she never speaks, but rather that she choose when and how to speak. See, she doesn't open her mouth for drama, gossip, or noise. She opens her mouth with divine discretion and strategic timing. Can I just say that for some of us, if we were not raised in that type of environment, this is also a learned behavior as well. If you're, used to being angry or negative, you can change that. However, you have got to make a choice that that's what you want to do. You do not have to be in with the crowd, right? This is the kind of woman who knows how to advocate without arguing, counsel without controlling, and lead without raising her voice. Her words are the fruit of deep thought, experience, scripture, and spirit led insight. She is not led by emotions, but she is led by truth and timing. In the Hebrew, wisdom here is chokmah, right? Meaning skill, prudence, and strategy. This isn't just intellect, it's spirit filled intelligence married to emotional maturity. Now, that's a lot right there. However, when you see the era of your wrongdoing or your era in maybe the way that you may say some things, your perspective on things, whatever that may be, go ahead and correct it. Work on those areas so that you will be more refined, right? In your delivery, in the things that you say, how you show up, and how potentially you help others. Like we quite often hear it said that life and death are in the power of the tongue. Well, you can definitely cut people down, right? You can tear them up just by the words that you say. However, loving kindness is the thing that draws. And if you are looking to have real impact and influence, then you have got to make sure that you are drawing and not pushing people away, right? Not deterring them. And so, as you are doing this, as you are putting this into proper perspective, go ahead and make sure that you are properly aligned with what the word says. The second part of this verse says, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. This Proverbs 31 woman doesn't just talk kindly when people are kind to her. Her tongue, her natural default setting is rooted in a law, and it is the law of kindness. What are you rooted in? How are you showing up? What are you speaking? Are you speaking life or are you speaking death? Right? You get to determine what that looks like because some of us, who we show up and we got fire coming out as opposed to grace and mercy and love, right? That means it governs how you respond to pressure, betrayal, criticism, and even success. She doesn't weaponize her words, but she wields them with care. Can I just say that the criticism will come, the pressure will come, the betrayal will come, the feeling like you're defeated, it will come. However, how you choose to respond is how you choose the outcome. Right? For many of us, everything doesn't have to be an argument. Everything is not a fight. Everything is not putting you down. Can I just say that constructive criticism can be your best friend? And sometimes, even at work, when you did a project, you worked on it, you put your stamp of approval on it, you hand it in, and all of a sudden they're tearing it apart. Can I just say, use that as a tool in your toolbox to refine those areas and come out swinging, right? Everything does not have to be where you're downtrodden or you feel like you're being put down. Use those things to sharpen your sword. And I did say sword, right? Whew. This is a lot here. I know for us to take in on today, but I really want you to internalize what I'm saying on today. And I want you to really allow it to land because if there's some areas that need to be refined, can I just say, go ahead and work on those areas, right? You know you better than anybody else. And sometimes kindness is not always soft. Sometimes it's firm love, it's honest correction, or it's graceful truth, but it's always guided by love. And when it's given to you, you need to see it that way. And when you're giving it, you need to give it that way, right? In this age of clapbacks, of shade, and public takedowns, the Proverbs 31 woman leads with light, and she knows how to silence rooms, not with insults, but with insight. Don't go into the room swinging. Right, because of your leadership and because of your positioning, but go into the room with insight that allows you to be able to build up that space, right? And to be able to lead people back to a place of alignment that allows you to be able to get some things done without completely putting everything in disarray. So let's look at the modern day revelation to this. In today's culture, being loud is confused with being powerful. We see it all the time, right? But the Proverbs 31 woman understands you do not have to shout to shift the atmosphere. Know that your power is in your presence, your discernment, and your speech. If wisdom is in your mouth, it means that wisdom is in your mind. And we quite often speak from what is being stored within, right? We speak out of the abundance of our heart. If kindness is in your tongue, it's because grace has saturated your heart and your mind. This kind of verbal maturity doesn't happen by accident. And it's not just there overnight. It's not like you go turn the light switch on. No, the light switch is not just a automatic thing. No, it comes from putting, sometimes years of goodness in to overshadow any of the things that may have been there previously. So this kind of verbal maturity doesn't happen by accident. It is the result of discipline, spiritual development, and emotional healing and godly alignment. So sometimes you got to allow yourself to be able to absorb this lifestyle so that way it naturally comes out. So let's talk about the modern day story because of course I want to give you an example. And so Miss Lisa, she is a senior executive at a Fortune 500 company, and she was the only woman and the only believer in the boardroom. So during a heated meeting about layoffs, voices were raised, tempers flares, and accusations was flying all over the place. But she remained quiet for most of it. And then she spoke slowly, wisely, with solutions that honored both the company's budget and its people. The room fell silent. Her calm became contagious. Her clarity brought consensus, right? It brought consensus out where everybody was able to get back on the same page. One of the executives said later, when Lisa speaks, oh, the noise stops. It's like she's clothed in something the rest of us don't have. Can I just say that when you show up, yes, stand out by all means. However, do so with grace and do so with a strength that makes a difference. And that was something, or that's something that Lisa had. Oh, it was wisdom and kindness, and it made her unforgettable. When people come in contact with you, have those unforgettable moments, right? It could be a passing in the grocery store, but because you were kind and you were not slurring insults, it will make a difference. And I will say, we get the opportunity to really impart or leave an impartation with everybody that we meet. So let's make sure that we're doing so with grace and kindness. So our daily takeaway for today is this: don't speak to be heard all the time. Speak to be helpful. Don't just react, respond with revelation. And discipline your words the way you discipline your budget, the way you work on your body, or the way that you show up for your brand. And you also want to build with words to everyone that you meet. Every sentence is a seed, so plant legacy and not loss. And of course, I want to give this legacy activation. Number one is audit your speech for the next 24 hours. Observe how you speak to others, especially under pressure. And number two, write out a response. Think of a difficult conversation you need to have, script it with wisdom and with kindness. Sometimes just seeing those words on the paper gives you a profound perspective on how you're going to have the conversation, because I'm going to challenge you to go ahead and have that conversation. Don't keep putting it off. And number three, speak life. Call or text someone who needs encouragement. Let your words be a source of strength today, right? Don't put it off. Go ahead and do it today. Matter of fact, while it's on your mind, and because I just said it, go ahead and get that text together. Go ahead and pull up their number. So just as soon as we're done here, you go ahead and you take action. Our journal prompts for today is this. Number one, what would change if I pause to pray before I speak? Number two, how can I sharpen my wisdom and soften my tone? And number three, who do I need to extend grace to with my words this week? You know what needs to be done. Go ahead, write it down. And remember, take one action. Our affirmation is: my mouth is a vessel of wisdom. My tongue speaks the law of kindness. I shift atmospheres with grace. I build legacies with language and reflect God with every word I release. Can I just say thank you so much for joining? This is always so great. And I absolutely love all the comments that you have been sharing, all the text messages that you have been sending over as well. You can continue to follow me on all social media platforms at I am Dr. Tabitha, or go to my website where there's some free resources at drtabitharussell.com. I look forward to connecting again with you on tomorrow. This is always so good because we get something good out of it every single day, because I love, love, love to break down the verses, because that allows us to be able to get truth with simplicity, right? We don't necessarily have to sit there and read for hours. If that is your thing, by all means, please continue to do so, because you know what is needed and you know what works best for you. However, I do want to challenge you to take action today. Our word for last week was focus. Well, on this week, can I just say, this week, let's make our word perseverance, right? Let's continue to persevere and press on to the mark of the high calling, which is in Christ Jesus. Let us show up in our most authentic selves in our leadership and create great legacy. I look forward to connecting with you on tomorrow. Take care and have a super